She has a tea, and pine grove. She also has a house in pine grove.
Oh, because I was wondering why.
Yeah.
Let's come on back.
Should we bring our stuff with
So
us?
you can actually leave your stuff here for a minute.
Okay.
We'll just come to where we can see all the food. I'll talk for a few minutes and throw you to the wolves. Excuse me.
You want us in the kitchen or over here?
Hi there. I'm Ronna. If you wouldn't mind, just take your time to get settled. If you put the name tag. Absolutely. A little bit about me. Meg and I were talking about what do I call myself, and I said, do I say I'm a summer resident? Does that sound awful, you know? But that's pretty accurate. So I live with some of these other people part of the summer, which means I come and go from Brooklyn, where I am year-round, to Falls Village. And as I've gotten to know this community and the library, it's definitely become a second home for me. But I've rarely had the chance to do many classes up here because I usually escape my work to come this way. So it's a pleasure. I am from Brooklyn. I have a culinary studio there so that you can send all your friends and relatives who like to pass through New York my way. You know, most cooking classes, you'll start with a menu, or maybe it will be a theme, so, you know, favorite Mother's Day dishes. And for me, that actually takes the wrong approach to a problem which is much simpler, which is what do I do with what I have. So in this class, rather than have a menu of dishes where you divide into different groups and I give you the appetizer and you'll take the salad and you'll get the main course, instead we're going to divide into little teams by ingredient. So the ingredients behind me are what we're going to use, and most of them are from Adama Farm, and they're CSA. The title of this class is Garden to Table in 3 Steps. So what that means is that, the easiest step to go from garden to table is you pick this off the vine and then you eat it, right? Step 1. When you want to do something a little bit more, for example, you pick a lot of things and you aim to feed more than just yourself in the moment. So how do we turn this into not just 1 or 2 or 3 plates of food, imagining 3 different courses? How do we turn this into 12? There are 12 of us. And how do we make 12 entirely different plates of food? So the 3 steps, right, from garden to table are first to take stock. And that means, what do I have? That is a really easy question, but it's more than just opening your refrigerator and seeing what's going bad, which is a great first step. It's also, finding out what's on sale, what's really good in season at the time, what somebody gives you, what the person you need to feed needs to eat. All of those factors are involved in just taking stock of what you have. And then there's also things like, well, I know that I want to, what's a good example? Roast potatoes, but I only have 2 left. Is it worth turning the oven for? So taking stock often for me, and this is true at home, involves me pulling stuff out so I can see it. Your refrigerator is great for storing things and keeping them, hoping they last until you're able to eat them, but it's terrible for letting you know what you have to cook with. It hides things, the refrigerator door, the produce drawers, right? They're all ways in which we can tuck things away to feel guilty days later when we retrieve them, put in the compost pile. So take your ingredients out, and you'll notice I also took out spices and oil and butter because these are also fair play. And especially for the spices, if I leave them in the cupboard, then they're out of sight, out of mind. But by putting them on the table, they are equal players on my team, right?
It's in the oven, and then we can do the lemons and the potatoes.
So if you did a slice 1/4 inch like that, and then
So this is taking stock, looking at what's in season. And then what you want to do is, step 2 is create starting points. So starting points is my concept of describing doing one thing to each ingredient. That means if you have potatoes, you roast them. Except if it's 98 degrees out, right? In which case you might decide to do something else, and you may not know how to do anything else. So then instead of, again, asking, what am I making for lunch or what am I making for dinner, which when you have 2 potatoes is fraught, right? You say, what one thing can I do to this one ingredient? Okay, I don't feel like roasting. Can I boil, shave, grate, sous vide, poach? You might not even know what any of these things are. That's okay. But the idea is with step 2 is we focus on technique. We focus on those building blocks of cooking. Step 3 is choose a path. So you have some handouts, and on this handout I have some suggestions for things that you can do with the ingredients that we're going to prepare. So because we've broken this process up into take stock, what do we have, do one thing to what we have, and then put together different paths, we're going to be able to see kind of the transformation of these ingredients and follow their lead. The best chefs take cues from their ingredients rather than put them and manage them. Right? And I'm going to show you how we can take the things that you prepared so simply and turn them into really sophisticated, elegant dishes, and then it's your turn. I hear that we have wine. I don't know if it's reserved till the end. Okay, so should we, I'll do this.
Do we want to wash our hands?
Let's wash your hands after you choose.
Okay.
And then I'll also, Sophie, do you mind getting the bowls out of the sink? Thank you. This is my daughter Sophie. Okay, Susan, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
Choose.
Oh my goodness.
Choose a tag, and you're going to get a partner or 2 in the process. And there's no wrong answer.
We'll take all the bread.
I mean, sure. I have a bread knife. I hope. I have a bread knife. We need a partner on bread.
I'll help you with the bread.
Just saying.
Let's do bread. Okay.
It's your turn.
We'll do it.
That's because there's Sophie on the stove. I didn't mean it like that at all, by the way. No, he's going to follow your lead. Would you like to choose? Tony, right? Tony, yes.
You're looking at mine.
Wash your hands.
Do I take all the zucchini?
Yeah, all the zucchini.
And we're gonna, and the rice.
And a confit, 2 tasks.
What's that very first word?
Poached.
Oh,
I don't know why you couldn't tell.
poached.
Poached. I also have salad technique.
I was going to sliver shells.
Okay.
As instructions.
All right.
After we have all of our individual components, and then we say, I've got this salt and potato, I'm going to smash
Okay, so
it.
it's the crumble salt.
I put it together for you to serve your table. On each, so you might find that this is easier to slice into crostini.
Which one do you think for breadcrumbs?
You know, it's a great question, and a couple things. To get, and so you want to cut them about.
And that would be for the crostini?
This is for the crostini.
Yeah, okay, nice.
For this, I think what I would do, cut it just as you said, right, to about 1/3, maybe that's even more than that. And then you can either take your hand and go like this, right, if you want.
To make the breadcrumbs?
Yeah.
Shallots. So I guess we should
Okay, so this
I
is
felt
to make,
zest
well, or
some,
I can
keep
start
the
the oil
zest,
with
and
the
choose
dry
some
stuff and
on
then we
top
can,
of it.
oh,
Where's the little program instructions?
This one? Oh, there.
this is what I use my
Okay, if you
Cuisinart
take a
for.
picture, you have to send it to me. Get us in act.
When you chop that up for like a
The rest of the tomato? Absolutely. You can either slice the rest of it, because this one, somebody else could use. Yes.
All right.
And there's,
I think it's will open a little later than years past, so through the,
well, you can, so this is, have you ever
Yeah, I've been a few times.
7 in the morning, so it's pretty nice. Pardon me, excuse me, miss, I'm going away.
I think we should crush with the butter.
We should do the potatoes first.
And then when we come back, you'll have not Yeah, rub it with a little bit of salt. We're done with our chocolate with a little bit of salt. So in your case, roast potatoes, you would get those in first. I realize I didn't on them, but there's a salad there. So we're really not too much stuff in here. So here's the first step. Right? What if I took this zucchini and I cut it, not in the slices that I'm used to when I'm going to grill it, but instead really, really fine dice? You might think, I've never cut anything into a fine dice before, but you know, when you take a height seasoned zucchini and you cut it into tiny little dice, it tastes sweeter than in a slice. So we're going to choose, but yeah, people are writing for the zucchini. The idea is going to have some of it in dice, and then we're going to use next and confit, which is a fancy word that means to cook it very slowly in this case, a lot of olive oil, a couple other things, a ratio of breadcrumbs.
Oh, actually, this is better.
We're going to make a tomato seed dressing, which is when we're going to take these big tomatoes, pull the seed sacs out of them, and use them to make a little mustard-heavy tomato seed dressing.
No, we either.
Yeah, we're cooking every night.
You're going to,
We already did the spice.
and what did you put your spice on?
It needs to pass through my hands.
Wouldn't that make sense? Yeah, so that's what we're going for. We're going for that first part of the whole
Oh, I don't think all of them.
well, you're kind of, so this is, have you ever salted it? That's a recipe. Yeah.
25 minutes.
And then the seasoned butter that somebody else made.
Well, some of them are easy.
And the shallots.
Okay, well, that's
And sliver extra shallots.
I'm gonna use this oven,
Don't clean them.
And then you can take a little
Probably
weeds and
baby
put
olive
them
oil
on your herbs and set it aside. And even if you can put
Closer together in these though.
And now just.
All right, here we go. What are we gonna do? Let's put the, let's dry out.
you want to put them in, but you just, I'll show you what I mean by leaving them out means leaving a little bit exposed here. What I would say is let's do, this is a fine height, but, so what we want to do is these need to be touching. Yeah, that's fine. And it's fine to have extra.
That's right, I'm actually reading the recipe.
Good.
Not right now.
Okay.
We thought we were doing.
Unless, yeah, it's not.
Oh my God. Forget it.
Sugar or salt.
It's salt.
Okay.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so be on.
But you can hold on to salt. Sorry.
Here for our real quick.
Are you throwing in these are the shallots.
Presentation is everything.
which that farm was broken up into 12-acre lots, 12-acre lots. This is past Town Hill Farm?
Stop. No, we're supposed to. Stop? If they're not woody.
Okay.
Well, the recipe says so. The recipe says so, we will do it.
Yeah. Alright, so you need a lot more.
Okay, I think we're done with it.
So the herbs, you need 2 packed cups.
I got their organic popcorn.
Row maybe.
Smells good.
What do you need?
Roasting pan.
a roasting pan.
For hotel pan, that would be fine too.
Yeah, she thinks it's too deep.
It doesn't matter about deepness.
First thing.
Now, we're gonna eat this like this or we're gonna grill it?
Leave it off? Okay, so you're alright, so
Uh-oh. See, I've never known how to do this and get the seeds properly.
I'm gonna have you strip these. Yeah, so here's what I thought we could do with this. And so to do that, some of them may need to be dried a little more, and I have a salad spinner, but yeah, you know how to do this, you roll it up, and then you, yeah.
Oh, is it cut like that at the
Exactly.
half inch or?
A half inch.
Should I put one on the bottom too?
All together?
All together,
Okay.
and then you just cut them in a little tiny ribbon, like a quarter of an inch.
Beautiful, yeah, so just fry those. You can do it in batches. And then
Restricted time.
a vegetable peeler.
Find one, here we go. Good luck, we'll see how it works. Here's another one.
Climb over there.
I have some thyme right here.
I have one stirred dish.
Conversation.
Put my salt in.
Now it's
So hold on.
and we still have a chance out, okay? Yep. Okay.
And then
But we have
I'll say
Oh, does it? Well, then I can't read.
Are we gonna use all of these? 2-pack cups?
no, it's not. We don't need to use all of them.
Okay. I used 2 loose cups.
No, we need 2 packed cups.
Then what else should we, of our list?
Do we have a place for dirty bowls?
I think people have to turn the wash in them. The sink's over that. The
The
sink's
lid's
over
not
that way.
getting hot.
Can I just rinse these with them?
Okay, now we have to. But did you taste it?
Well, I'm not done.
Oh. Okay, then what else should we, of our list? A teaspoon and a half of cumin. I don't know.
Have you ever seared kale? Not so pounded, actually.
This could be my church and I
Not
don't know where anything
shove
is.
this in,
So it's more,
right? I just want to
yeah,
almost create a single layer, but I'm not being cautious about that.
10 years.
And the reason is, if you created a big layer, you just steam it. Just
Wet. And you set it flat?
So
Put it in there and then put the pan on it to flatten it down.
to press it down.
A medium? It's pretty hot. Fine.
See, it begins to yellow a little bit. And what happens is, when you press it down, you're pressing all the extra moisture out, which is why it can last for so many days. As long as that tastes delicious, then you're
Store it in the broth.
yeah, definitely.
I just recently, the dried chickpeas, I cooked them and I heated them and I froze them. And we just popped them, not in any liquid, just popped them.
Thank you, Lord. And she takes care of her own.
There you go.
So what do you do then? Just
So yeah, they're a little too hot to handle, but, except I'll handle them. If you could grab for me one of those bowls, please, the stainless, yeah, and then a plate. That's perfect.
kale.
That is collard greens, cut like you might cut. And then I'm going to take some of this. I'm going to use my hands because they're clean and it's your best tool. You have to taste. So now what I'm getting is deliciousness, and I need some oil. Did I lose my oil?
It's here.
Oh, thank you. Remember, we were asking how this is turned into a dressing, and this is how. So sometimes it's nice to just make your dressing right in the bowl depending on what you need.
What's
So
this?
this is a raw zucchini, right? So what I'm doing is I'm tasting it every step of the way. And then what would happen if I added some of this?
What's this?
Chernobyl, sorry. Chefs aren't used to tasting food in front of people. We just sit there in the back. It's true. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some breadcrumbs to it. Okay, so this salad has the following ingredients in it: collard, zucchini, cumin, coriander, garlic, cilantro, parsley, lemon, and tomatoes. It's a salad that is way more interesting, I'm not saying better, but interesting, with a combination of flavors I would never have thought of, especially if I was in a hurry, when staring at that head of collard green in my refrigerator. So do you see how easy it is to get from really simple to something a little bit more intricate just by tasting along the way? And then you arrive at something that you register in your mind. Wow, I really like coriander on raw greens. I didn't know that before, right? So we'll add this to the pile. Things is?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because it will be evident to you, but it will be evident to
Big knife and rocket, it just really,
So I think you.
okay.